Hey all, so it seems to me that a lot of times when people prefer a passive bass to an active bass, the reason for that is in the way that the passive tone control works with passive pickups, because it sounds very different from an active tone control, especially an active treble control that's reducing a high shelf type of EQ filter and doesn't interact with the pickup coils in a way that produces a little resonant peak as a passive tone control does. So this is an MTD 535, and typically it's an all active bass, and it has a active blend between pickup sounds, pretty even, which is accomplished by the pickups each going into their own channel of a buffer, and that feeds a blend. So if you want to have a passive type of tone control in this bass, you can really do it at any point in the circuit. You can do it after the preamp even, but it won't interact with the pickup coils in that special way to make that little resonant peak at the cutoff frequency, unless it's before the buffer. But since it's a stereo sort of situation, you've got both pickups feeding a stereo buffer, what you have to use is one of these guys, pause for graphic, which allows you to essentially turn two tone controls with one single knob. So it's a single knob, a single shaft. And basically what I've done here on this bass is I have put that in place of the treble control. And I find that I really wasn't boosting the treble very often. I was usually trying to cut it, but I kind of prefer that sort of passive tone cut. So this is a way for people who like that passive sound or think that they're solidly in the passive bass camp to get the sound that they're looking for out of an active bass, which is really just that sound of a passive tone cut. But at the same time, after that, it's still going through the buffer, it's still going through a preamp, so you have that awesome active blend. You've got the possibility of further EQ tweaking if you want to use it, and if not, fine, you just leave it at the center detent, and you have a nice low impedance output for driving long cables, so you get a lot of benefits. What I've also done is this particular pot is a dual 250K audio taper pot that I'm using with two tone capacitors. So each pickup is kind of going to its own tone pot, and also has a switch on it, a dual DPDT, dual pole, dual throw switch. I think I said that right. And what I've wired that to do is basically boost the treble, the active treble, about halfway when I pull up on the switch. So if you're not getting enough treble with the tone control all the way up, you can pull up on it and get a little bit more. So here's kind of a range of controls. So this is with the tone knob all the way up. This is essentially the bass flat, the way it was kind of originally intended to be heard. Okay, here's back about a third of the way. Back about halfway. And all the way, which gives you that nice little resonant peak I was talking about when the capacitor is completely in parallel with the pickup coils and it's interacting with the pickup coils. You get that kind of nice low mid bump. So there you have it, a little bit of tone talk, a little bit of tone fun. So try this stuff out for yourself. The worst you can do is grounding the output signal and then you don't hear anything. So, give it a shot, learn by doing. See ya.